So good night again, everyone. Good night. And like I said, phenomenal week last week, over 1,200 pips in trades that we caught, and it was really amazing, right? Really amazing. Looking for a really good week again this week. And as usual, I'm gonna start with the DXY, right? Now, so last week I had the DXY to come up to this zone. And the reason why is because we have some imbalance here that needed to be filled, right? Before the DXY could potentially look to drop again. So I am looking for the DXY to keep selling, right, at this point in time. Whether I have it to break my daily trend line, I'm not going to say right now, because I prefer to let the trade show me what it's going to do, right? So we don't want to be guessing. Again, we want to make sure that we are confident traders, right? So we're going to wait for our confirmations. We're going to let the market tell us and show us what it's going to do. Okay. So since the DXY came out here and filled this imbalance, as I said, I'm looking for it to drop this week, right? So this is my imbalance zone here. You already have it on it. Everybody can see my imbalance candle right here, right? So the move is for this to come back into here, and then we could take a move to the downside, potentially coming back to the trend line again, right? Potentially coming back to the trend line, right? Now, bear in mind that this is structure right here. So in order for it to come back to the trend line, obviously it needs to break structure, right? So the move is really coming up to here for a retest, and then coming back to our trend line. All right. So if I'm looking for the DXY to drop, more than likely I'm looking for, you know, EU, GU, AU, and NU to go up, right? So let's look at EURUSD. As I said, I marked up my charts as soon as the market closed on Friday. So I'm just going to run through my ideas, but all of my charts, especially my favorites, are already marked, right? So, so on Friday, I would have noticed, first of all, we have structure up here, so everybody can see structure, right? So I also noticed that I have an imbalanced candle right here that the market created. So what am I looking for? I'm actually looking for EURUSD to come back into this zone. We can potentially get a nice entry for a buy here and take the market back up to structure, at least, right? Now, right now, EURUSD will need to, well, really and truly what I'm looking at for the DXY is for it to come back around. That's what I'm looking for. So this is crossing over, right? So I'm gonna wait for the for the MACD, not me calling about the DXY. The MACD. I'm gonna wait for the MACD to come back around, right? So I want to see it come back around, give me a retest, and then a move to the upside, right? So once I get this coming around, I am gonna take my buy definitely to structure. All right. Now, in a case like this, what you guys can do, because we don't have a 1 hour structure as such to break in this zone. Obviously, the 1 hour structure is here and here. This is a 1 hour high, this is a 1 hour low, right? So because we're looking for a buy in between this zone, you want to drop to the 15-minute time frame, right? Identify what is your 15-minute structure. So you would notice that we have a 15-minute high right here, right? And a 15-minute low down here, right? So this will confirm just what I am looking for with the MACD as well. So, so I just want to see this, you know, give me some more movement to the upside, right? Because right now it barely broke above the 15-minute structure. So I would like to see your USD just push some more to the upside and then give me the retest back instead of here, right? By it going up some more, it really confirms my break of structure on the 15-minute time frame, right? And then once it comes back in here and give me this retest, I'm gonna gladly take it again up to the 1 hour structure. All right, so that's my outlook on EURUSD. So we can look probably sometime tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, if not tomorrow, Tuesday for sure. Right? The next setup that I am interested in is GBPUSD. Now, for GU, I have an imbalance candle right here. Everybody can see it. So what I really have on the 1 hour time frame, this is structure, right? So we align the structure here with the MACD. Everybody can see this is the last 1 hour low, right? So this is structure. Price broke to the downside, so we had a nice breakout. So what am I looking for? A retest and then a sell entry, right? The beautiful thing about this breakout is that we have a really nice imbalance candle that formed as well. So you would see that I already marked out my imbalance zone, so you can see my imbalance zone here, right? So what I'm looking for with GU this week is for price to test this zone for us to get into a nice sell position and take the market at least down you know, around this area here. Yeah, around this area for sure. Right, so that should still give you at least 100 pips down to here. Right, that should give you at least 100 pips. So again, really looking for the market to push up, give me a retest in this zone, and then we can take a sell to the downside. Right, that was on GU. USDCAD. Now, what I found, right, for the last 2 weeks is that I'm always starting off my week with USDCAD. For whatever reason, between Sundays and Mondays, right, there's always an entry on USDCAD. Mind you, I will take my entry and it probably will consolidate, you know, for a day or two, and then it really takes off. But USDCAD is setting up for another buy. Could be tonight. If not tonight, definitely tomorrow morning, right? So what I am looking for is, so I have the market to come and fill this imbalance zone over here, right? This is why you see my purple lines here. So I identified imbalance here, right? So at some point in time, the market would have broke structure here, and it never actually came back and retested. It just continued to fall, right? So I definitely have the retest to come now, to happen now. So what I am looking for is for the MACD to just come around into the red histogram. And then I'm going to take my buy on USDCAD. So again, we will be starting off the week, guys, with a trade from USDCAD. And like the other weeks, definitely looking for it to pay us out. All right, definitely looking for it to pay us out. So, so this move, you know, 85 pips to start the week. So definitely a favorite. Right? Everybody can see my stop loss on it. Just below the imbalance zone. This is the imbalance candle right here. Right? So this is where I have my entry here in the imbalance zone. Okay. Stop loss here, take profit here. So that retest that I'm looking for. Right? So the instructions on entering this trade is wait for the MACD to cross over the signal line, not just the histogram itself. You guys know how the MACD works, right? The signal line needs to cross over just like it did here. See how the signal line actually crossed over? Once I get the cross, then you guys can start to look to enter your trade. Right? So we should be starting the week with that. So my advice is keep your eyes on USDCAD until you fall asleep tonight. And then first thing tomorrow morning when you get up, if you don't get into it tonight, definitely look to get into it tomorrow because the MACD by that time should be ready. All right. USDJPY. Okay. So on Friday, I think I post a potential setup on USDJPY just before NFP. What I was actually looking for, you see this wick that we have right here? I was looking for the market to actually spike this zone, right? Wick my entry in here because they actually had a pending order in here. So I was looking for the market to wick my entry and then drop. But that's fine. That's okay. What I will tell you is that I'm going to keep my eyes on this zone still. Why? Because I have an imbalance candle right here. Right? That's my imbalance zone. So I am definitely still looking for the market to come into this zone. If it doesn't, that's fine. Don't want you guys to feel like you missed the move. Because if it doesn't come here, then the next move is this. Wait for the breakout, retest, entry. So really and truly overall, USDJPY is going to be a nice move. It's just a matter of when, right? So you definitely need to plan for this trade. So like I said, the two possible setups that I have on it, one is for us to get a retest back into this imbalance zone. And if it doesn't do that, then definitely looking for it to break structure, give me a nice retest, the MACD to align with the retest, and then it will get him for myself. Right? So this is the outlook for USDJPY. Take note. So you guys know what to look for. Either the imbalance zone or the breaker structure. And if you get in when the market, if the market comes up to this imbalance zone, this is a very nice entry. Very, very nice entry. Because from there, you could potentially look for the market to at least come down to structure. And that alone will give you just about 90 pips. Now, when the market comes down to structure, if it starts to break down and continue to break structure, then you're well over 100 pips in profit. Right? So definitely looking at this setup. Told you guys, this week is looking really nice. A lot of setups this week, man. Usually after NFP, the market is actually create a lot of opportunities, especially the week right after NFP. A lot of moves, right? Gold, I have a setup for gold as well. Right? All right, so gold, what happens on Friday? Well, Thursday into Friday. So I told you guys, firstly, if you see the market trending in one direction between Monday and Wednesday, right? When you see Thursday come, look for the market to do a reversal. Right? So if the market is dropping, and there's a nugget for those who don't know, take note, right? If you see the market, let's say, like selling Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the market just selling, right? You see by Thursday and Friday, please don't look for sell continuation. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but more often than not, the market is probably going to do a reversal by Thursday, right? So, so you see, like, for example, this was Wednesday. Wednesday, we have this drop, this 300 pip drop that we caught, right? And then, yes, the market did give you an imbalance candle, but this is Thursday. So not only did the market turn around, it completely invalidated that imbalance zone and just went to the upside. This is Friday. The market retests this imbalance zone. So really and truly, we did have an entry for a buy on Friday. All right, because the market retests this imbalance zone and then continue to the upside. But to be honest, I just thought that we had enough for the week. We don't need to be greedy. So, but the next setup is coming. Right? So I have an imbalance candle here again, once more. No. Let me show you what happened so everybody can see, right? We broke 4-hour high. Right? We broke 4-hour high. Now, as much as this happened, what I would like for gold, I would like to see gold push up some more. Because remember last week, Tuesday was talking about weak breakouts. And as much as on the 4-hour time frame, this looked like a pretty solid candle, which it is, the actual structure of gold didn't have such a strong break. If you really check it, if you guys actually look, you will notice that the candle is strong coming up to breaking structure, but actually breaking it like outside of structure. We didn't have that much of a strong break to the upside. Because look at this. This is weak, right? This is actually quite weak here. And what you would find with a weak breakout, which I told you guys on Tuesday as well, is that the market can invalidate it and go right back inside. So what I mean by that is that if this don't continue to, at least give me a little more movement to the upside before it comes into this zone of retest, what could end up happening is that the market decide, let me invalidate this zone and come back in, and who knows, give me the retest here. Right? So the retest could end up happening here because this is still an imbalance zone. This is the imbalance zone, and it was filled with a wick. So because this is weak, the market could decide, you know what, I'm gonna invalidate this zone for my retest, and I'm gonna come all the way down into this previous imbalance zone, fill this wick, have a retest here, and then push to the upside again. So as much as I do love gold, I do love the setup, right? I must admit that the breakout was quite weak. So what I'm gonna wait for, let me just do this, put that a little to the upside. What I'm waiting for is to see if the market is at least gonna push further up first before it, you know, actually comes and retesting here. If I get that movement further up, then I would feel a little more confident about taking the retest here for the upside. If it doesn't, like right now, as you can see, it's starting to drop, then I will forget it. All right, so keep your eyes on that. So you guys have the instructions for that. Just don't get into it because it's in the imbalance zone. Let's see if we get pushed to the upside some more. So we can definitely say, well, we had a strong break. And then we can then look at getting a retest and getting in for the buy entry. Until then, leave gold, please, and thank you. Okay. Next setup, EURAUD. No. Looking at a sell continuation on EURAUD. Why? I have a huge imbalance candle here. Now, originally last week, I was looking to get into EURAUD for a buy in this zone after it broke this structure. So everybody could see that structure here was broken, right? Good. Nice strong break. Market held above, right? Good. But it never came back into my imbalance zone. So I know that last week the euros pushed to the upside, but EURAUD didn't set up for that. So what I'm looking for this week is for EURAUD to actually come into my imbalance zone and give me an entry for a buy. This is really the long-term goal here. This is the setup here. This is the setup. Right there. Right? That is the setup to here. There. There's an imbalance zone here that I am looking for EURAUD to fill. Right? So I definitely do want to get in for this buy. But EURAUD is setting up a counter trend trade that we could take. We could take, right? So so definitely looking for a sell on this. No, I'm going to move this for now, right? And this is what I'm going to tell you in order to take this counter trend trade, because it's Sunday and the market is already in my entry zone, right? I am not too comfortable with it being there right now. I don't want anybody rushing and getting into this trade without confirmation. So this is the plan. right? This is the 15-minute structure here. I'm gonna break this down very, 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 as simple as I could, right? As simple as it could. Don't want to say that it's very simple because it may not be for some people. So this is the last 15-minute low that I had. All right. So what I would like to confirm my trade is to get this, and then we can take it all the way down to here into that imbalance zone for the buy. Right? So let me just change this a different color so we don't get mixed up with this and the other one. This is 15-minute structure. Right? Here for M15 break. Very simple here, right? The instructions. So I want you guys to wait for that breaker structure. Now, once structure is broken here, right? I will feel confident about this sell. At the moment, I do have it to sell from here. It is in my entry zone currently. But as I said before, I've said it many times, I want you guys to feel confident about your trades. And that's how I felt all last week and all before too. But you see last week with those setups, there were some setups that had us in some drawdown. It wasn't a lot, but we were, you know, in some drawdown, like Euro GBP. And then quite so, you know, back in profit. And what helps you with drawdown is confidence. And losing your fear of losing. I meant to always mention that. So when you have your confirmations lined up and you feel confident about a trade setup, drawdown will not bother you as much. Because even if it had to hit stop loss, right? More than likely, once your confirmations are met, the market will give you another opportunity to get in. Because it could just be that you entered the trade maybe a little too early. Right? So let's be sure about it. So we're going to wait for breaker structure, retest, and then we're going to get in. This is on the 15-minute structure and the 15-minute time frame. Right? So don't look for this on the 1 hour time frame. Look for it on the 15-minute time frame. That's why I have the M15 here. Okay, good. So that's EURAUD. Really like that. Like that a lot. GBPAUD. No, I also like this setup. I do. Okay. So GA, looking for a buy on this trade. I prefer to get in when it is in my imbalance zone. So what we had, right? This was structure here. And this was structure on, it's my M30 time frame when I looked at it. Yeah. So on my 30-minute time frame, I had a breaker structure, right? So what I'm looking for, because price created this imbalance here, and this is my imbalance candle, I am looking for price to actually come into my imbalance zone and then head to the upside. Right? So I definitely would like to take this trade at some point on the 1 hour time frame. So what I'm looking for, I believe that right now, GA is probably going to cross over to the green histogram, right? And that's okay. We're going to wait for it to come back over to the red histogram. By that time, the trade should be in this imbalance zone when it's back in the red histogram, right? Once we get that crossover and price is in the imbalance zone, then you guys could look at taking this buy, right? Stop loss below the imbalance candle, and you're good to go. Okay, so I definitely do like this, but like I said, I'm gonna have to apply a bit of patience with this one. Why? Because it needs to first come into this zone, and the way how the MACD is setting up right now, I am looking for this to actually cross over to the green histogram first, and then cross back over into the red histogram before I take that buy. All right, but definitely look for this. And you guys could use this structure here, which is 133.245, as either a take profit or a checkpoint. Right, so when price comes here, you can use it as a take profit and come out the trade. That's fine, right? Still but GA pays a lot, so that's still a good set of pips, right? So to that structure is 150 pips. If you guys decide that you want to continue it to the upside, totally up to you as well. But what I will say though is to please use 133.245 as a checkpoint. What do I mean by that? When price gets here, either move your stop loss further up into profit or take partials or have a TP, come out the trade. All right, good. So that is GA. And then last but not least, CADJPY. No, CADJPY, we've been waiting for this bad boy to break structure so long. Right? Now, this is structure. Let me just move these lines for now so you can see. So I have structure here. We've been consolidating in this zone for quite some time. So finally last week, structure was broken, right? I mean, we did get a retest into the imbalance zone. So so let me identify the imbalance zone for you now. So everybody can see this candle here. This is the imbalance candle. And this is the zone here, right? So that's the imbalance zone. Now, yes, we did get price coming into the imbalance zone and trying to make a move to the downside. However, it didn't directly give us a 1 hour retest here, right? So what I'm looking for is for price to come back into the zone, right? For another retest. And by that time, the 1 hour MACD should align with a retest as well. Once you get the 1 hour MACD crossing over into the green histogram, definitely look to take that sell to the downside. Right? Overall outlook on CADJPY, I looking for this bad boy to come down into this zone. Right? Around 89.825 and 89.488. Why? Because we have, everybody should be able to, without me even zooming in, you should be able to see this imbalance candle here. So definitely looking for price to at least retest this zone. right? So again, okay, so wait for H1 MACD retest, and then you could look to take that sell. So once you get this coming over, you're good to go. Okay. Oh yes, NZDJPY as well. Same situation, right? As CADJPY. So structure was broken last week, late last week. So definitely looking for continuation to the downside with these JPY pairs. So you see how the JPY is lining up with each other, right? You have GJ, that already broke structure and continue falling. UJ has not quite done that as yet. CADJ has not quite done that as yet. And NZDJPY has not quite done that as yet. So you still have UJ, CADJ, and NJ to basically do the same thing as GJ. Right? So all you have to do in this case is to wait for that retest. Right? So this is my imbalance zone here that I identified. Structure was broken, as you could see here. So what I'm waiting for, just like CADJPY, is for my MACD to come around into my green histogram, and then I'm definitely looking to take a sell in my imbalance zone. So once I get this coming around, just crossing over, and prices in my imbalance zone, I definitely would take a sell to the downside, right? Outlook on NZDJPY, I'm looking for price to come into this zone. There. Right? So eyes on this as well. And this 155 pips. CADJPY, if you have to hold it for that long. Right? CADJPY, 180 pips. Right? Last week we got into GJ, and I told you guys to hold the trade to TP, and you got a 300 pip drop. Right? So all you have to do is apply the same thing to NZDJPY, CADJPY, USDJPY. And this week should be really good for you guys. So the JPYs, definitely keep your eyes on those, right? Definitely like those, but they have to set up. GA, I like GA, but like I said, we still have to wait for a fair amount of things to happen first for us to get basically two crossovers from the MACD. So a cross up and then a cross down. And then also we have to wait for price to come into our imbalance zone, right? Before we take that buy. EURAUD, we're looking for a sell first on the M15 structure. All right, so we're gonna wait for structure to break, retest on the M15, and then we're gonna take that sell to here into this imbalance zone. Thereafter, we could then look at getting in for our buy. Because like I told you guys, the move for last week was actually to get in for a buy on EURAUD in this same zone. So this same zone is my take profit for the counter trend trade. Right? Goal, the instructions on goal is to wait and let's see if it's gonna push higher first before it comes and retest this zone. Because as of now, the break that we had on the H4 time frame and on the H4 structure is not that strong. You had a strong candle, you know, starting to break it, but it didn't actually have a strong finish. It didn't have a strong break to the upside. And that's what I would like to see. I want to see price breaking to the upside some more. right? So let's just wait and see if gold would continue to push up some more before we get that retest. Right? USDJPY, as I told you guys, two possible entries. The first one, I potentially looking at UJ to come back into this imbalance zone and then drop. If it fails to do that, then just wait for the break of structure on the 1 hour time frame, wait for that break, retest, and then look to get him for yourself. Right? USDCAD. Like I told you guys, more than likely we're gonna get, this will be our first trade for the week, more than likely. Look for price to come into this zone, and then we would take a buy between tonight and tomorrow. So eyes and ears on USDCAD. Right? GU. Wait for price to come into this imbalance zone here. Wait for the MACD retest, and you can look to take that sell continuation. Right? And EURUSD. Let's see if we can get price coming back into this imbalance zone, and then we could take the buy continuation to the upside. Right? So we will watch price here as well. And that is it, guys, for this week's outlook.